So yesterday when we are creating views function, right? Okay, I have created one view function, correct? What is that? Def home. Then I put one parameter and I told each and every view function must contain that parameter. What is that parameter I mentioned? Request parameter. And also from that function I have returned some output using something. What is that? HTTP response, right? So this request and response are very important. Okay, so I need all of your attention and silence. I can't shout, guys. Okay, when I'm teaching, listen properly. After that, do it what I will give the task. Okay, then when I'm teaching, don't talk. Then after that, don't ask me, this is not working, that is not working. In that case, I am not responsible. Correct? See, give your attention, take full knowledge. That is what I want. Don't disturb others also by talking. If you want really learn properly. If you want to disturb, don't be here. Because of one person, everyone should not get disturbed. Correct, na? So because this is not simply theoretically you are coming and saying and listening. No, you have to do practically. If you miss one step, na, you'll miss everything actually. That is the thing. Correct? So that flow, every step should be understood properly, guys. Understood? Now, my point is here to understand now. We have request parameter, right? So in that request parameter, when we are sending the request from the client, that request parameter will get all the information from the client browser. Okay, like what kind of data coming from the browser, maybe some informations will come, some query string will come, different data will come. Okay, now how to access that request and what is that request coming in the HTTP request? There are different types will be there. We have to understand that part before jumping to the next. Okay, so here we'll understand types of requests. Okay, types of request. So these types of request is same for all the technologies, guys, not only Django. Okay, so now anybody knows what are the different types of requests are there? Anybody knows? Mainly two types, guys. Mainly we'll talk about two types, but there are HTTP methods. Many are there actually. I'll tell you that. So first we'll post, get. Okay, delete, put. Okay, good. So there are different kind of request HTTP methods. First one is get request. Second one is post request, and third one is put request, and fourth one is patch request. We'll call it as. And fifth one is delete request. These five are the important request methods, HTTP request methods. We'll talk one by one. Actually, we'll deal with get and post more frequently and unknowingly we'll deal with. But when it comes to put, patch, delete, when you want to delete some resource, when you want to update some resource, we'll use delete for delete. Update means we'll use put. Okay. Partial update means we'll use patch. So you will understand going forward. But today we'll discuss about get and post. Okay, so now by name itself you can identify or maybe guess what is that get is going to do, what is that post is going to do. Okay, what get will do? Any idea? If it will works like a filter.
I mean, we will get whatever we request.
Yeah, correct. So when request is coming from the client or browser, as a user, I am requesting some data from the server. That is what I want to get some resource or get some data from the server. That request is known as get request. Okay, that means using get request, browser wants to get some data from the server. When we want to get some data from the server, we'll use get request. Understood? Simple. But post request, if the browser wants to send data to the server, I want to post data, I want to save data, I want to store data. We can put in different way, right? So I want to, like, like registration, right? I am registering, my data should store in the server. So that time post request I have to make. That time I have to use post request. So when you are storing some data, or when you are loading some data into server, then post request is going to used. Okay. And here technically talking about using get request, you can only get the data. Using get request, you can only get the data. You can't post the data or you can't store the data. Understanding? But using post request, you can do both the way. You can post the data and in the sense of save the data into the server. Also, you can get the data from the server also. Okay. Using post, you can do both also. Using post, you can do both also. Then you may ask me question, sir, then using post I can do both, then why I require get? Or maybe why this post is having this two options also? You may ask this. I will show you that practically when it comes. But clue is simple. When you are using get, it is going to expose some data inside the in the browser itself. Okay, like when you are putting something like password and all, sensitive information, that will be exposed in the URL. So that is not good practice. Security matters. Your password, your account information, everything is exposing in the URL means somebody will hack that or maybe take that things and it will go wrong, right? So that for security feature, we'll use post request only many cases. We'll use post request only many cases. But whenever the server is get started, first request coming to the server, that will be get request only. But we will filter by post request. Okay. This is the difference, get and post. Clear? Any questions? Okay. Let's move forward. Yesterday we discussed this URLs and views, how it is working. Correct? Same thing here we are talking about. URL will be containing all the URL mapping or all the URL paths. Correct? But views is going to contain corresponding functions for that particular URL's path or URL roots, right? Present in the urls.py. Let's see one example here. Here I am having in the urls.py insert, update, display, right? And this is like empty, comma, views.home. So when I give like this empty, views.home, which page will load? Any idea? Home page only, that :8000. But yesterday I shown after :8000/home, right? So normally when you start the website, www.facebook.com, when you enter this home page directly I will get. I don't want to give facebook.com/home, right? So that how you can achieve means you just put here empty, then map with home function. That's it. What I am talking about means I will show you here in this code what we did yesterday, right? Here I don't want to put this home. I will remove this. Okay, correct. So now when I go here directly, I will receive that. Okay, maybe my, yeah, correct. See, in the 8000 port only directly I am receiving that home page data. Correct? That's what usually we will do for the home page only. For other pages we will map with that routing name like login or sign up or maybe dashboard, something kind of this. About us, we will map each URL with each functions. Okay, so now here we have I want to show this, right? I just removed this home here. I kept home here like this, right? I am removing this. Now when I go here, right? See, I am getting that directly in the direct 8000 port, right? Starting point is by itself, it's loading my home page, that home function. Understanding? So this is the proper way actually, right? For the home page. Now let's get back here. Okay, So now, yeah, if you observe all these things, for this home in my views.py, there must be home function, correct now? There must be home function, it is returning that. Then for this insert, views.insert, there must be insert function, that is what URL and function is mapping, correct? And again for this update, there must be update function, understanding this linking. And for this display, again in the in the views.py, there must be display function. Like this, how many URL you will keep, that many functions you are going to keep. This is the internally going to mapping URL and function. Understood? Good. So now, yeah, we have discussed this, how to add the views.py, right, yesterday only. In our project folder, right click and views.py add and write the function. Okay, clear. So now when I run the server, directly I should get the output like this. Means what I am loading in my URL, giving empty and mapping with the home page, home function. That's it. That's what I shown, right? So that is a requirement that already we have did, right? This is what we are talking about. Here I am putting like empty views.home. In the views.home, I am just returning some output like hello students. Yesterday I written welcome to my website. Same thing, correct? And this HTTP response is the Django HTTP module. It is coming from that. It is putting the response back to the browser. I think yesterday somebody had some issue here, right? Some make my file is not finding. That import was not properly configured, right? You must import from Django.http. If you try to import directly from HTTP, it will showing the problem. Okay. Now we'll talk about that. So this is all about project setup and starting point of URL and views, right? So now, normally in Django what happens, we will create the project. In the project all the global settings only will keep. But Django comes with modularity and scalability. That means when you are talking about big complex applications, when we are building, for example e-commerce application, let's assume. E-commerce application means there are many modules, there are many what I can say functionality going to be takes place, and for example products, all the products will be separate, you have to keep all the products related. Maybe orders, all the order related functionality I have to keep separate. And maybe what else, payments or customers. Without customers, products and orders, nothing, right? Customers, all the customer details I have to keep separately. Like these things I have to isolate, because for orders also I have to write many functions, many URLs. For customers also I have to write many functions, many URLs. And for what is that one more, products also I have to write many functions, many URLs. Correct? If you keep in main project only all these things, you may get confusion and your main project code and code base will increase more. It will become more complex. So what we will do means, each and everything we will create a application app, one like product app, customer app, and maybe whatever else, orders app, like this. We will create the apps to make it as more scalable and more modular. Okay, and we will link that apps to the main project. All the apps will create, that apps will link to the main project. That is how development will take place in the real time. Okay, so now we'll talk about that, how to create that app and how to link that app to the main project. Make sense? Clear? So how to create the app and how to link that app. Okay, so let's do that today. This all things we understood, right? We'll jump this now. Yeah, this is what we're talking about now, project and app versus app. So now what this project does, this is like entire application configuration going to inside that project itself. Like settings.py will be there, everything will be there, right? So in Django project refers to entire application, entire website we can call it as maybe, right? So but app reference to or app refers to each submodule. Okay, as I mentioned, product, customer, hardest, like that. Okay, each submodule are packaged within that project. Project may contain many applications or many apps, multiple apps. Okay, project is a combination of or collection of multiple apps. Okay, but and app is a submodule. Like related functionality I am keeping in that app particularly. That is what app. Now, that's what. In a given project, we can have number of apps. Now, how to create these apps and how to do these apps there are also some like simple command used to write. For creating a project, what I did, Django admin, start project, then project name I have given. Same way, using Django admin only, we can create the app, right? I will show you that. Now, in the case of like institution management system, there may be different apps like student app, trainer app, placement app, inquiry app, like this different and maybe course app, like the different apps we can create and keep all the functionality in that particular apps. That all these apps are going to map it with main project like institution only. Understanding? So we are going to map, we are going to include the apps, right? So this is the important thing. Now let's see going forward how to create the app. Okay, so here some command will come, you have to note that command and I will show you how to create also practically, right? So now to create the app, we are going to anyhow we will be inside the project only, that project folder. Inside that we have to write Python manage.py startapp, then space name of the app. Okay, so Python manage.py space start app space name of the app. Okay, so let me create that app now. Okay, you can see that command, right? Python space manage.py space startapp is the command, space app name. Now I'll stop. I'll go there in the PyCharm and create app now. How to stop this now? Control C if you press, it will stop server. Okay. Now here you type now Python manage.py space start app. Start app is a single word. Okay. Like start project, it is a single word. Space. I will give here my app. Any name you can give, but it is a demo, right? I am giving my app. Okay. So this is my app name now. After that, press enter key. See, it's got created. Since I did not got any error in my screen console, my app is got created. How you'll check that? You just come to this, okay, project and you can see here my app also there. See, my app also there. Now this app, whatever the app you are creating, that is like a child for the main project, correct? That is like a child for the main project. Whatever the files are present in the main project, some files are going to come inside the my app also. Okay, I'll show you now. Let me open my app, expand, observe. So many files are already preloaded into that app, into that newly created app, correct? So observe now, as like project when I created, init file also came here also, right? And views.py coming here automatically, and test.py, that is for testing. Models.py, what is this for? Models.py, to create models, because we have to create models also, right? To connection of the database, everything. That is here we are going to do. Then apps.py. Now if you go to apps.py, here it is having app name, app configuration, something. By default it is created for me. What is my app name? My app. Okay, so this app name I have to use inside my project actually. I will show you that. Let me close this now. Now admin.py. So Django will comes with admin interface. So to register this app to admin, we have to write this ER code actually. I will show that later, don't worry. Now these files are there, but one file is not missing here. Compared to main project. See, compared to main project, this is my main project. So one important file is missing, that is urls.py. Correct now? So to create the URLs for this app, I need urls.py. Then only I can map URLs with functions. Whatever the views functions I will create here, I want to map, right? To map that, I want URLs. To create URLs, I want urls.py. Making sense? So that is the one thing you have to create when you create app newly. That urls.py file you have to create newly. Correct? So let's do that now. That is the first step. After creating the app, I think you people executed this code, right? Python, manage.py, startapp. Everyone got that app? Up to this clear? Good. Now let me minimize that. Right click that my app. Okay. Then new. Then Python file. Give the name as urls. Enter. Okay. Now that file is created for me under my app only. My app / urls.py. Now you can take a copy of this main project urls.py is there na? Just open that and copy this urls.pattern and this information, because I need that, right? Copy and paste here.
If all comes by default, why the URLs has to be created?
Not all comes default. Only few will come default.
No, in the main project, we will see URLs by default. By default.
Yeah.
But for app, we will
For app we are not getting. So see, for main project we are not getting views.py. We created, correct na? So something like defaultly they're maintaining something. While creating the project they are giving some files. While creating the app they are giving some files. But we can customize according to our wish. That is also there, right? We can create any files. That is not a problem. Okay. Now whatever the thing I don't want, I'll remove from this now. Okay. And even yeah. Okay. Remove this also. Now urls.py file is with me inside my app, right? So before this, okay, what I'll do, first of all, whatever the views I created in my main project na, I will just comment that. Okay, I don't want to render main project views actually. I want to render from the apps only. That is my requirement. So I just maintain here comment and I will come to my app.views. First I will create the view here. Okay, so I just create here home page. Okay, and I have to import this, right? Yeah, Django.http response. Okay, I am going to import that. Okay, so now in my app there is a home function, right? Now this function should have URL inside app.url.py only. Inside app.url.py only. So now to map the home, I should not give anything actually, empty. Now here you should give home. Okay, actually what I'll do, view.home. Okay, views.home. Then you have to import this view. Okay, import this from where? See, it is showing me my project views, and also it is showing me my project dot my apps dot views. This views is present now currently in my app, correct? I have to import from my app. Understanding? So I will go with this one. From my project.my app, import views. Makes sense. Now I am imported from my app folder that views, and I am linking that home into my URL. Okay. So now what I'll do, I'll just change this one. Simply this is my home page from my app. Okay, something like this. Okay, so now after this, if we execute server, I should be able to get this output, correct? Because I already linked. But we'll see what happens. Run server. Okay, I am having here some issue, right? What is that? My first project that views has no attribute home. Okay, where? Okay. In the first project, we are importing this one, right? I have to remove this. I didn't remove that, correct? So that is the one thing. So now problem will be solved. Now execute the run server. So server is running without any problem. Now go to this. If I click this, I should get that output. What is that output I am sending here? App.view, right? This is my home page from my app. Correct? Execute. But I am getting home page of Django. Correct? Now my application what I am created, that is not linked. Correct? I have created my application newly. I have created URLs also newly. I have created views also newly and mapped URLs and views from the application level. But did I link my app into my project? I didn't link. Correct? I didn't link. So that's what I want to show. See, if you not link, always project only gets load, not the app. Make sense? So now how to link that? That part is I'm going to show you now. So to link these URLs, mainly from the my project is there, my project urls.py. Here you should tell to the Django, you should include the URLs of the application also, app also. So here you will be writing this code, path, okay, include function you will be using. It is an inbuilt function. Okay, what is my application name? My app. Okay, you have to give like a string here. My app dot, what you are going to include, which file? URLs. Okay, my app dot URLs, right? Comma, and you have to import this name from Django.urls. Import include. Okay, import include. Clear? So once this is done, project is loading. No module name, my project, my first project.my app. Okay, where is that? My app.url.py line number 3. Okay, my app.url.py line number 3. Okay. Okay, we'll do this from views import. We can import what? Home. Okay, directly we can do this. In this case, we don't want to use this here extra view, right? From views import home. You can import from views import home. In the current app folder, it will import. Let me stop this and rerun. Python manage.py run server. Okay. Yeah. No module named views. Can you find that views? Yeah. Okay, both should work actually. Let me check. This is the problem of one setting. I'll tell you. Yeah. Okay. See, when I'm doing from dot current directly, it is taking from dot import views, then views.home. So this is running for me. Now let's execute this, and you can see now the file coming from the output coming from the app itself now for the main URL, right? This is my home page from my app, correct? So here what I have done in the application URLs, I am importing from dot import views. You can replace this code and views.home, correct? Before I mentioned here my project, na? So don't do that. From dot import views, current file only it will take, current views, okay? Up to this working, check. Views.py, yeah? Okay. Views.py, simple. This one. I am writing the home function. That's it. And app.url, I am mapping this one, only this one. But mainly in the project URLs, I am including this one. This is important in the project URLs. So after creating app, in the project URLs, you have to include the project URL like this. Path, comma, include myapp.urls. Once you include this, it will redirect. Whenever URL coming from that app, it will go to that app url.py and it will check. Okay? That is the one thing. Clear? Views. Which view? App views. Okay. So this is the app view, simple only. So following here, main URL I have added this new line, okay? Okay. For every app you create, you have to include here in the main URL, okay? It's clear up to this? So what we done today, we created new app. Means how to create app you understood, how to configure the app you understood. In the app folder you have to create url.py, and in the main project url.py you have to include that app URLs like this, and in the app URLs normally you are going to create the URLs for the application functions in the views. Whatever the functions you will create, that you are going to map. That's it. Only 3 steps only. Create the app, create the app url.py file inside the app, and that you include inside the main project like this using include function. And in the app create the views function, and in the app URL map the view function. This much only. Okay, understood? So practice this much today, okay, and work with this particularly, and going forward we'll learn many other things like how to, now we understood creating URLs, creating app, creating views, everything. So next point of thing is like creating templates, that we are going to understand. Okay, before that some other information, small information will settings and all will do that. Later on we'll go for that. So tomorrow we'll do that. Any question before that? So let me stop today. We'll meet you tomorrow actually. So that means URL is missing. Check the URL's configuration. I'll come and check. Wait.